Benefice for our next edition of Let Me Tell You a Story. This time, Tim and Wendy will share their favourite Bible stories with you and talk about what makes this story so special for them. If you would like to share your story, please be in touch. It'll be a real pleasure to come and see you and record your Bible story.
I'm Tim, and I would like to read from the New International Version of the Bible, Genesis. Actually, would you believe, chapter 18, the three visitors. The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre, while he was sitting at the entrance to his tent in the heat of the day. Abraham looked up and saw three men standing nearby. When he saw them, he hurried from the entrance of his tent to meet them and bowed low to the ground. He said, "If I have found favor in your eyes, my Lord, do not pass your servant by. Let a little water to be brought, so that you may all wash your feet and rest under this great tree. Let me get you something to eat, so that you can be refreshed, then go on your way, now that you have come to your servant." "Very well," they answered, "do as you say." So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah. "Quick," he said, "get 3 seahs of fine flour and knead it and bake some bread." Then he ran to the herd and selected a choice tender calf and gave it to a servant who hurried to prepare it. He then brought some curds of milk and the calf that had been prepared and set these before them. While they ate, he stood there near them under the tree. "Where is your wife Sarah?" they asked him. "There in the tent," he said. Then the Lord said, "I will surely return to you about this time next year, and your wife Sarah will have a son." Now Sarah was listening at the entrance to the tent, which was behind him. Abraham and Sarah were already old and well advanced in years, and Sarah was past the age of childbearing. So Sarah laughed to herself as she thought, "After I am worn out and my master is old, will I now have this pleasure? Then the Lord said to Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, 'Will I really have a child now that I am old?' Is anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son." Sarah was afraid, so she lied and said, "I did not laugh." But he said, "Yes, you did laugh." Genesis chapter 18, almost at the beginning of the Bible, in terms of this Bible, page 17 and 18. And here we meet, possibly, the Trinity, and we also have humour. The Trinity, yes. If you look at the painting, the icon that Rublev did of this particular scene, it's known as the three visitors. And if you look at the figure on the left-hand side, the one with the white tunic on, above that figure's head, you'll see a massive white house, a large white house. In my father's house there were many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you. The figure on the left-hand side is the figure of the Father. The figure in the middle, with a rather earthy red-brown uniform on, I suppose you can call it, reminds me of the earth and the fathers that tilled it. And this is the Son. "Come to me, all who travail are heavy laden, and I will refresh you." There he is, sitting under the great tree of Mamre, offering shade and rest. The figure on the right hand, with the green uniform on, the green tunic, if you wish, the green for life, is actually the Spirit. And if you look at what's behind him, it is the great wilderness, the mountains where nothing else is. And that tells you that wherever you go, either physically or spiritually on this earth, the Spirit will accompany you. So there you have the Trinity on page 18 of the Bible. But there's also another mention here. There's humour. Do you ever expect to find humour in the Bible? In the Old Testament too? Well, a church without humour is moribund, really. It's dead, isn't it? A church that can laugh together, that can cry together, that has emotion together, that has traction, that has movement, that is real. But there's something else, about Sarah. And here's a little prayer that I heard many years ago now, which I think you might find rather fun. I am fed up with sour religion, with sad saints, with sin staining. I need some laughter, Sarah, the kind you gave to... I need some laughter, Lord, the kind you gave to Sarah. But please, may I not have to wait till I'm 90 and pregnant. Humour and the Trinity on page 17 and page 18 of the Bible. Who would have thought it?
I'd like to read to you from Luke chapter 15, verses 11 to 20, the story of the prodigal son, and I'm reading from the Youth Bible. Then Jesus said, a man had 2 sons. The younger son said to his father, give me my share of the property. So the father divided the property between the 2 sons. Then the younger son gathered up all that was his and travelled far away to another country. There he wasted his money in foolish living. After he had spent everything, a time came when there was no food anywhere in the country, and the son was poor and hungry. So he got a job with one of the citizens there, who sent the son into the fields to feed pigs. The son was so hungry that he wanted to eat the food the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. When he realized what he was doing, he thought, all my father's servants have plenty of food, but I am here almost dying with hunger. I will leave and return to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against God and have done wrong to you. I am no longer worthy to be called your servant, but let me be like one of your servants. So the son left and went to his father. While the son was still a long way off, his father saw him, and he ran to him and hugged and kissed him. I'm really lost for about the distance of time after all these years, but about 30 years ago, my son left home and got accommodation and went and worked in Ipswich. We were in contact with each other, and I used to phone and make sure he had everything he needed, as mothers do. And then, I suppose after about a year, he didn't answer the phone anymore. And I phoned, and there was no answer. It went, and I'm always my cup is always half full, and I thought no news is good news, so I didn't worry too much. He was a big lad and big enough to look after himself. But then I suppose it was about another year, and Don and I sat watching the television by the fire one winter's evening, and the door opened, and in walked my son with Sandra, who is now his wife, been his wife for several years, with her two little boys, Tim and David. And I've always said, I know exactly how the prodigal son's father felt when he saw his son far off.